Welcome back to Suburban Hunt 365. I'm DJ, and this is going to be our part 4 of the muzzleloader series so far. And in today's video, what we're dealing with is the IMR White Hots. Alright, so we took these bad boys to the range. We shot the same ones that we did before, which were the powerbelt 245 coppers, the 250 grain aerolites, the 295 grain coppers, 335 grain powerbelt ELRs. Then we switch over to the Federal Borelocks at 270 grains, and then the Hornady Borelocks at 290 grains. Now, CBA actually says that the combination of the White Hots and the powerbelts are the best shooting projectile powder combination out of their rifles, and I am running the CBA Ultima V2 is what I shot so far. All the series has been done with that particular muzzleloader. So getting right into it, the very first one we have up is the powerbelt coppers 245 grain, which the accuracy has been really good with the 777 pellets, and with the White Hots we ended up pulling about just under a 3 1/4 inch group with the width of these things. All in all, they're not terrible. That'll handle a deer, but unfortunately, as luck would have it, I forgot to push record when I shot this group. So here's a picture of what you got. Now looking at this group here, like I said, the first shot actually hit on that outer ring. The second shot hit on the inner ring. Then that third shot was the one that's all the way to the right. And that last shot followed up right up underneath that first shot. So if I took away one of those flyers, we're dealing with right at a 2-inch group with those. But with all 4 rounds together, we got about just under a 3 1/4 inch group. Again, not terrible. Will it handle a deer? Absolutely. So moving forward, we got the powerbelt 250 grain aerolites. Check it out. As you've seen there, the first shot it was just a little bit low under bullseye. Second shot was off to the right, and the third shot just underneath that first shot, and then it moved over again a little bit to that right hand side. Now again, the total group on this one is just at that 3 1/4 inch group. Again, it's good enough for deer. If we get that one away, kind of assuming it's a flyer, unfortunately the last shot kind of discredits that. But if we were to take that away, we go right back to that 2 1/4, 2.5 inch group, which is not terrible for a deer within 100 yards. So, powerbelt, CVA, and the White Hots, 3-inch group. That's kind of what I'm used to expecting out of these pellets. All right, moving forward, our next one is going to be the 295 grain powerbelt coppers. And from what I've seen, the pellets seem to like these little bit heavier projectiles. So go ahead and check this out. Keep an eye on the bottom of the target. Alright, so what you got there is an extreme flyer on that third shot, right? So we're just going to completely get rid of that third shot. It hit low, hit pretty much the same area. Third one goes way high, and then the fourth one hits a little bit to the right of those first 2 shots. So we're definitely getting rid of that flyer. With the flyer out of the equation, we're looking at a 2-inch group there, almost dead on 2-inch group. So that's a little bit better. That is getting more to what I would think CVA would be talking about with the White Hots and the powerbelts. Alright, continuing on, now we got our last powerbelt of this particular run, and that is the 330 grain ELRs. Now they've done pretty good on the other ones. Let's see how they do with the White Hots. Alright, now we're getting somewhere. Alright, even if we take all 4 of those shots together, you got a 2-inch group across there. And you can see that with those lines on there, that grid. Now, if we get rid of that flyer, same as we've done the other ones, to give it the best 3-count group that we can, you're looking at a 3/4 inch sub-MOA group out of the CVA Ultima V2, the White Hots, and the powerbelts. This group, I can definitely see CVA saying White Hots and the powerbelts are the combo to use. So 3/4 inch group, sub MOA with the muzzleloader, that's better than I've seen across any of the other ones, and I really got high hopes for that particular ELR. Now, if you remember back on the other videos, the ELR surprised me on those too. So as far as the power belts go, my money's on sticking with that 330 grain ELR. So now we're going to move on, and we're going to go away from the power belts, and we're going into the federal bore locks. So we are dealing with 270 grain bore locks. Check it out. Alright, there we go. That's the federal bore lock, 270 grains. And like I was saying a minute ago, I think these TVAs like a little bit heavier projectiles as far as accuracy goes, because if you recall, in the 150 grain 777 challenge, we had similar results out of the 295 grain, where it pretty much put a bullet in the same hole, a projectile in the same hole. So as you saw in this one, the first one hit, then it hit low, then the third one came, and then that last one hit almost the same exact spot that the first one went to. Now, as we've been doing here, the 4-round group, the whole group is about 3.5 inch spread. Which again, will that take down a deer? Yes, if you're aiming at the bread basket right there in the center behind the shoulder, that'll handle business. But if we take away that flyer, that gives us a 1 inch group with those 3 shots. That is MOA. So right now with the ELRs, we had sub MOA, and now we're dealing with 270 grain federal bore locks. We get rid of that flyer, now we're dealing with MOA. So a 1 inch group is nothing to shake a stick at. Now we're going to move on to the Hornady bore drivers coming in at 290 grains. Let's see how they do. Well, I have to admit, after the Hornady performed the way it did in the previous challenges, this one kind of dropped the ball in my opinion with the White Hots. So Hornady doesn't seem to do so hot with those White Hots, pun intended. But that is a 2.5 inch group. I mean, it's almost a square. 2.5 inch group, again, will that kill a deer? Absolutely. But when you've got a 3/4 inch group with the ELRs, and then you got a 1 inch group with the federal bore locks, with this particular challenge, I'm going to have to lean towards the power belt and the federals. So in conclusion of this video, the winner is going to be the 330 grain power belts, which the power belt 295s did a lot better with the 777s. So they're really doing pretty well for accuracy. But like most hunters know, and a few of the comments that I've had on the other videos, guys have been talking about the blood trail, finding the blood, the accuracy of the kill, and that kind of thing. And I have to agree with them. I really do have to agree with them. And with that federal bore lock coming in at 1 inch groups, and if you saw my muzzleloader video, we kind of edited a little bit out because of the fact that there was so much blood leading me to the deer that anybody of any experience with deer hunting could have followed that trail all the way to that deer. I mean, it was like somebody punched a hole in a paint can and walked me right up to that deer. So with that blood trail, so far I would have to stick with the federal bore locks. But like I said, the accuracy, this challenge is about accuracy. The accuracy, the power belt ELRs take this one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe you learned a little bit something, or maybe it gave you some more information to think about when you're choosing your next combination between the powders and the projectiles. Now we've got one more left. It's going to be the Fire Stars with 777. Now those supposedly burn a little bit hotter, so I'm going to do a little bit more research on those and see how those go. But we already got one more set of pellets to go, and then we're going to start digging into the loose powders. And to add one more thing to this, one thing that everybody keeps saying is the White Hots burn cleaner. They burn cleaner, they burn cleaner, is what I keep hearing. Well, looking down the barrel after each 4-shot group, I don't know if the barrel was any cleaner than the 777s as far as just looking down the barrel, but I will tell you that the White Hots clean a lot easier. So saying that they burn cleaner, I can't say they do or they don't, because the barrel still looks full of soot when you look down there. It's not actually soot, but you know what I mean. It's got all that stuff going down the barrel, but it was a lot easier to clean when you're comparing the 777 pellets to the White Hots. So that is something to consider, especially if you're just going to not clean your gun during a 3-day hunting trip or whatever it might be, that the White Hots were a lot easier to clean than the 777s. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this information. Do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Really help us out, guys. The views have been fantastic, but I really need you guys to help us out and hit that subscribe button. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.